KZFR. This is FM 90.1 KZFR Chico, listener-supported community radio for the Sacramento Valley, the foothills, and beyond. And this is Riding on Air. Riding on Air is made possible by, as soon as I find it, the generous contributions of KZFR supporters and by Dahlheimer Insurance Agency, an independent agent and retail broker since 1948. Dahlheimer Insurance provides a range of coverage options from home and auto insurance to farm and ranch coverage. You can reach Dahlheimer Insurance in Chico at 342-6421. And again, that's 342-6421. And in Oroville at 533-3424 or at chicoinsurance.com. All right, well, we have a pretty packed show tonight. It's a very rough time for our country right now. It's the best way I can put that. There's a lot going on. Not much of it is good. And rather than try to unpack it myself, I figured we would air a bunch of writers who have contributed to the Black Lives Matter movement. And I have a co-host guest with me here today. Shannon, how are you doing?
I'm good, Kevin. How are you?
Let's make sure. Have you on the right headset here? Oh, no. My headset's broken. Hold on, everyone. Everything's broken. There's a nightmare. There's fires going on. What's happening? Okay, let's try this again. Say hello again, Shannon.
Hello.
Say it one more time.
Hello.
Okay, say it again.
Hello.
One more time.
Hello.
Interesting.
Just one.
One, okay.
Oh.
All right, we have all the wrong mics. Here we go.
Thank you.
Cool. Say something again, Shannon.
Hello.
Fantastic. That's perfect. Thanks. All right. Sorry, guys. Some technical troubles there. As I was saying, this is a very interesting time for our country right now. There's a lot going on. Not a lot of it is good. And we're airing writers who have contributed to the Black Lives Matter movement. If you want to be part of this show and you have issues that you'd like to unpack with your writing or things you just want to talk about or just be part of the show to enjoy it, you can do so by emailing me at write.onair@gmail.com or contacting me via Facebook. Either of those work, and I get back to you within a couple days usually. So, now that we have Shannon here, I think, Shannon, I'm going to let you dive into the first one.
Yay.
So let's go ahead and dive into this first piece here.
Okay. I found this poem on hellopoetry.com. And the writer's name is Lemon. He or she does not have a last name. And it's titled, Do Not Oppress Me. What runs through your mind when you first see me? The way I dress, my smile, or what race I may be? Are you scared I might rob you or beat you to death? That I'm what you see before you take your last breath? The difference in color makes life worth seeing, in rainbows, in paintings, in human beings. But when you use it against me as a catalyst of hate, it's not my reputation you choose to desecrate. I respect you as a person, as family, as my friend, but I will not stop until this violence is at an end. I watch you take a seat, take a stand against me, but unlike you, guns down where we're taking a knee. A knee for our siblings 6 feet under our souls, a fist raised high against your armed patrols. As peaceful as we are, inside we still seethe, 'cause not only is it Floyd who cannot breathe. With tear gas and bullets the size of my hands, you know that it's wrong, so why still follow commands? Not just windows or bones, but hearts that you shatter, and it's not up for debate. Black Lives Matter.
That was a fantastic opening piece, I think.
I love that one.
I feel the pieces we're going to read tonight are going to give some clarification on issues, things that you might have questions on. And again, I'm not going to try to unpack a lot of these because you can do that for yourself, I think. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I'm not a leading voice on this. So we figured we'd keep airing pieces that have a lot to say on these matters that are going on. So I want to read one next. Mm-hmm. This one's called Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. Some of you might know her. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns, with certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I rise. Do you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling like teardrops weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard? 'Cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the median of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise into a daybreak that's wondrously clear. I rise, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise.
Love it.
Yeah, that's a really good one. She has some, that was Maya Angelou, for those of you who are just tuning in.
Yes, very powerful.
Yeah. And we're pretty much, just for those of you who know and are tuning in again, I know we just started the show, so most of you should know what's going on at this point, but we're going to be airing pieces that have contributed to the Black Lives Matter movement. So we're kind of going to keep rolling with those.
Yes, and the next one I found online, and it's by Gracie Knoll. It's titled Stand. And by reading it ahead of time, I assume that it is written by a man or woman that is not a person of color. So here it is. Here I stand, wondering when my mind was shaped by all these lies that carried me this far. Here I stand. How did I get here? It wasn't my own feet that carried me this far, but it's my hand that can reach out. It's my voice that can speak up. It's my feet that can stand. Here I stand, prejudice in hand, ready to let go and walk into this fire. Here I stand, humbly armed with love. Can you forgive us? We're walking into the fire. Here I stand, swathed in all your tears, appalled by all these years. Let's walk into the fire. Understand, I will never understand. I could never understand, but I stand with you.
I think that's a really good piece to show.
Yeah.
Really.
Especially from a different point of view, especially for someone who hasn't been personally victimized, but just someone who is there to take part in helping others.
And we're all humans, so stand for those of us who are having some trouble right now. Well, I will dive into the next one. A Small, Needful Fact by Ross Gay. Is that Eric Garner worked for some time for the Parks and Rec Horticultural Department, which means perhaps that with his very large hands, perhaps in all likelihood, he put gently into the earth some plants which, most likely, some of them, in all likelihood, continue to grow, continue to do what such plants do, like house and feed small and necessary creatures, like being pleasant to touch and smell, like converting sunlight into food, like making it easier for us to breathe. And for those of you who don't know, Eric Garner was someone who was a victim of police brutality and was killed. So this is another very poignant piece on this. Yeah, actually, let's dive into this one, Shannon, I think. So let's do A Little Prayer by Dana Smith.
Okay. Let ruin end here. Let him find honey where there was once a slaughter. Let him enter the lion's cage and find a field of lilacs. Let this be the healing, and if not, let it be. Oh, that one was a really, really good one.
Yeah.
Short, sweet,
There's a point he
peaceful.
says here. You know, the first line, I think, is really hard to decipher. I'm not sure. I feel like we should probably read that again. Let ruin end here. This is a very, very, very important piece. And honestly, if you have trouble saying prayers around this time, this is a good one. Let ruin end here. Let him find honey where once there was a slaughter. Let him enter the lion's cage and find a field of lilacs. Let this be the healing, and if not, let it be. I think with everything going on currently in the country, coronavirus, the protests and the riots, this is definitely a time for sensitivity and listening, not necessarily talking. Don't cloud things up. We just need to be respectful of what's going on and support those who need help.
Mm-hmm. And although change may be scary, it's necessary.
And good.
It's healing.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Yeah. We actually have another one by Dana Smith that I liked, and this one's a bit longer. I'll go ahead and read this one. Not an Elegy for Mike Brown. Dana Smith, or by Dana Smith. I am sick of writing this poem, but bring the boy his new name. His same old body, ordinary black dead thing. Bring him and we'll mourn until we forget what we are mourning. And isn't that what being black is about? Not the joy of it, but the feeling. You get when you are looking at your child, turn your head, then poof, no more child. That feeling, that's black. Think, once a white girl was kidnapped, and that's the Trojan War. Later, up the block, Troy got shot, and that was Tuesday. Are we not worthy of a city of ash, of 1,000 ships launched because we are missed? Always, something deserves to be burned. It's never the right thing nowadays. I demand a war to bring the dead boy back, no matter what his name is this time. I at least demand a song. A song will do just fine. Look at what the Lord has made, above Missouri, sweet smoke. Any words on that one, Shannon?
I just like how he mentioned Troy got shot, and that was Tuesday. Because it happens so frequently that people are getting hurt. And it's always never making the news because it's a person of color, or it's never as important because it's a person of color. It's nonsense. And then we make big textbook stories.
Yeah, history-changing, groundbreaking feats when something...
That was a really good analogy.
Yeah.
Really, really nice.
Yeah. Dennis Smith. And again, I think I found these on poetry.org. You can filter for certain types of poetry, and these were Black Lives Poetry movement poems. Mm-hmm. So if you want to find more like this, you can do a simple Google search and find everything that I found right here. We have some other poems coming up, too, that I think you guys are going to like. One of them is from... let me find this real quick, because I thought it was a good piece. Well, we'll get to it when we get to it. Stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned. Yeah, so I think we'll dive into the next one here. This one's called The Pedestrian by Tommy Blount. Read by Shannon.
When the pickup truck with its side mirror almost took out my arm, the driver's grin reflected back. It was just a horror. Show that I was never going to happen. Don't protest. Don't bother with the police for my benefit. He gave a smile. He was too startled, redness in his face. When I thought I was going a short while to get myself killed, it wasn't anger when he bared his teeth, as if to caution, calm down, all good, no one died. Night, neighbor. No sense getting all angry. The commotion of the past is the past. I was so dim. He never saw me, of course. I saw him.
I think when we're talking about a systemic racism and things happening like this, this is how people of color feel, as if they've been overlooked, as if they haven't been seen. And this piece, The Pedestrian by Tommy Blount, is a really good, very tiny example of this, I think.
Yeah, like the casually racist incidents, where it's the everyday and the unexpected. It was really good.
For my benefit, he gave me a smile. God,
yeah,
exactly. Sinks in hard.
It was anger.
We're trying to find a line right here. We're both
calm down, all good, no one died.
It's fine. Almost hit me with my sidearm, the driver's grin. People, yeah. Whatever you do, as Sue said in the last show, you can't go wrong with kindness. So if you're confused and concerned and not sure where to turn to, where to look, Google's always a good choice if you want to type in what's going on. Good luck with that. You're going to search through quite a few, I imagine.
Yeah. These are talented writers.
Some very talented writers, yeah. Well, this next one is Gemma Ward. Nothing has seemed to change. And I'll go ahead and take this piece. Centuries have passed, people have fought. Nothing is happening because the wrong teachings are taught. Voices have spoken and riots have been arranged, but still nothing has seemed to change. Corruption is seen through the law and through power. People are still suffering, climbing the social tower. We have grown together, all in the same range, but still nothing has seemed to change. People are suffering, no different than they have before. Their dignity is broken and their lives are at tour. The brutality is still here, causing infinite pain, but still nothing has seemed to change. The risk of walking outside is something people truly endure. The actions of opposition are devilish and impure. There have been millions fighting to end this derange, but still nothing has seemed to change. The cruelty and beliefs of difference have left nothing but war. We're ignoring who people are at their core. There are people begging for the oppressors to get tamed, but still nothing has seemed to change. The inequality is further preventing justice. How does authority expect to be trusted? An everyday battle has formed to abolish the chains, but nothing still has seemed to change. There needs to be unity, not among some but all. Together we stand, divided we fall. Speak out, bring justice, fight together in one lane, because there is no more time to not see change.
This one was my favorite one. I loved this one.
Yeah, I think if I had to pick one to help explain a lot of the events we see in the news and the riots and protests that are happening, this would be it.
Yes.
Because I think when people are oppressed, after a point when nothing feels like it's changing to an entire population of our community, a community we love, it's going to explode.
Yeah.
And what we're seeing is a result of that. Nothing has been changing. And as I think Martin Luther King Jr. said on one of these quotes somewhere in here, let me find this real quick. I think it said, a riot is the, or he said, he did, here's the quote, a riot is the language of the unheard. And I think that this last piece by, who was it? Gemma Ward. Nothing has seemed to change, that is the culmination of what we're seeing. When nothing feels like it's been changing and nothing seems to work, peaceful protest after peaceful protest that has been overlooked and shadowed and laughed at and all sorts of just horrifyingly derogatory things. When nothing seems to change, there's a breaking point.
Yeah, this one was my favorite because the way she just wrote it and she just kept reiterating, like, nothing's changing. It really did, like, strike a chord. It's exhausting. Like, we as a species have gone to the moon. We've done all these beautiful things, beautiful, amazing things, and we're still at, like, just base one of
being nice.
Race, yeah, just, and it's like we have all the science. We have all the science saying that we've all come from the same seed. All life has just originated from the same place, and we're still, like, just still on this.
Stuck in the dark ages.
It's awful. It's exhausting. I loved it. She just made it so. She voiced it perfectly.
The brutality is still here, causing infinite pain. But
yeah,
still
people are hurting themselves. People are going to protest. They're hurting each other. Cops who don't even want to enforce all this, like, people are just being violent, and it's awful. But yeah, she did a really, really good job.
Shannon, I think you should take this next one. It's a good one. This is a new national anthem by, who's that?
Ada Limon. The truth is, I've never cared for the national anthem. If you think about it, it's not a good song. Too high for most of us with the rocket's red glare, and then there are bombs. Always, there's war and bombs. Once I sang it at a homecoming and threw even a tenacious high school band off key, but the song didn't mean anything. Just a call to the field, something to get through before pummeling the youth. And what of the stanzas we never sing? The third that mentions no refuge could save the hireling and the slave. Perhaps the truth is that every song of this country has an unsung third stanza. Something brutal snaking underneath as we blindly sing the high notes with a beer sloshing in the stands, hoping our team wins. Don't get me wrong, I do like the flag, how it undulates in the wind like water, elemental, and best when it's humbled, brought to its knees, clung to by someone who has lost everything. When it's not a weapon, when it flickers, when it folds up so perfectly you can keep it until it's needed, until you can love it again, until the song in your mouth feels like sustenance, a song where the notes are sung by even the ageless woods, the short grass plains, the Red River Gorge, and fistful of land left unpoisoned. That song, that's our birthright. That's sung in silence when it's too hard to go on. That sounds like someone's rough fingers weaving into another's. That sounds like a match being lit in an endless cave. The song that says my bones are your bones, and your bones are my bones. And isn't that enough? Another banger. That was good.
Yeah, who's that by again? Ada Limon?
Ada Limon.
Thank you. That's a great piece.
Great name.
I actually like a kind of a call for a new national anthem. There's some stanzas in there that we don't talk about, and that was one that she mentioned. No refuge could save the hireling and the slave. That's it's dated. I would
Yeah,
say.
but it's just saying like you're cookie cutting pieces of history out. It's just like a general like metaphor for literally everything that we've learned in public schools in America. That's just saying like, oh, this is white European history, and I like personally, I have not been taught like next to nothing of any type of Hispanic American, any like legitimate, very important histories that are just unheard, or you have to specialize in them. It's just
there's large gaps of our species history that don't give credit to people who deserve credit.
yeah. And I like how she says, she's like, I'm not saying like I'm hating on my country. Like, that's not what I'm saying. Like, sometimes America does stand for something beautiful and freedom and what it's supposed to stand for, but it's messy still. It's like this country still acts barbaric sometimes. It's awful to each other. But,
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
So slow down. Be calm.
Yes. Slow down.
Be calm and take people, individually. Talk to them. Get to know people. Don't judge.
Stop hating.
Stop hating. That's a good quote right there. Stop hating. Shannon, I know you said you wanted to do one going out. Was that this one?
No, it was the Gemma Ward one. That's still my favorite.
Okay. Did we already
Love
read
You,
that one?
Gemma Ward. Yeah, we already did that. That one was the
no.
Nothing
Well-
Seems to Change.
Okay. Well, I'll read.
Turbulence.
I'm going to read this one, and then we're going to read that one again, I think, because I want to go out on that because that was a good piece.
That was a good one.
So this one is called Riot by Gwendolyn Brooks, and she was the first African-American to win a Pulitzer Prize. Just figured that was a kind of a cool little fact there. She titles this, or starts it with a quote by Martin Luther King that I used earlier. A riot is the language of the unheard. John Cabot, out of Wilma, once a Wycliffe, all white blue rose below his golden hair, wrapped richly in right linen and right wool. Almost forgot his Jaguar and Lake Bluff. Almost forgot Grand Tule, which is the best thing that ever happened to Scotch. Almost forgot the sculpture at the Richard Gray in Distelheim, the kidney pie at Maxim's, the Grenadine de Boeuf at Maison Henry, because the Negroes were coming down the street, because the poor were sweaty and unpretty, not like two dainty Negroes in Winnetega. And they were coming toward him in rough ranks, in seas, in windsweep. They were black and loud and not detainable and not discreet. Gross, gross, que tu es grossier. John Cabot itched instantly beneath the nourished white and told his story of glory to the world. Don't let it touch me, the blackness, Lord, he whispered to any handy angel in the sky. But in a thrilling announcement, on it drove and breathed on him and touched him. In that breath, the fume of pigfoot, chitterling and cheap chili, malign mocked John, and in terrific touch, old averted doubt jerked forward decently, cried, Cabot, John, you are a desperate man, and the desperate die expensively today. John Cabot went down in smoke and fire and broken glass and blood, and he cried, Lord, forgive them, for they know not what they do. This one is a hard to understand piece. It's written, it's an older piece, but it's talking about someone who was killed. And it's a piece. As far as I know, if someone wants to shoot me an email and fact check me, feel free. But this is just another piece of talking about someone that was killed a long time ago in a racial act in a really bad way.
Yeah.
Shannon, I want to go out on that last one though.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Do you have anything else you wanted to say?
No, I'm just glad that all of these, like, if you said that was an older one, like, a lot of these have been written, like, relatively recently.
Yeah.
And that's good. I appreciate it because it's, like, keep bleeding out creativity.
I might have this one too. What was it one?
It was, hold on, let me see.
Yeah.
Gemma, okay, I got it.
All right.
Got it. Okay.
Well, this will be the last one for tonight. So.
Yes. Yeah. Encore. Gemma Ward, nothing has seemed to change. Centuries have passed. People have fought. Nothing is happening because of the wrong teachings that are taught. Voices have spoken and riots have been arranged, but still nothing has seemed to change. Corruption is seen through the law and through power. People are still suffering, climbing the social tower. We have grown together all in the same range, but still nothing has seemed to change. People are suffering, no different than they have before. Their dignity is broken and their lives are at a tour. The brutality is still here, causing infinite pain, but still nothing seemed to change. The risk of walking outside is something people truly endure. The actions of opposition are devilish and impure. There have been millions fighting to end this derange, but still nothing has seemed to change. The cruelty and beliefs of difference have left nothing but war. We're ignoring who people are at their core. There are people begging for their oppressors to get tamed, but still nothing has seemed to change. The inequality is further preventing justice. How does authority expect to be trusted? An everyday battle has formed to abolish the chains, but still nothing has seemed to change. There needs to be unity, not among some, but all. Together we stand, divided we fall. Speak out, bring justice, fight together in one lane, because there is no more time to not see change. Love it.
Hello, everyone. This has been Right On Air. Right On Air is made possible with the generous contributions of KZVR supporters and by Floral Native Nursery and Restoration, California Native Nursery committed to the use of sustainable native plants for landscaping and restoration projects. For more information about native plants and drought-tolerant landscape design, visit Floral Native Nursery and Restoration at 14388 Meridian Road in Chico, or at 892-2511, and at floralnativenursery.com, where the wild things grow. Have a good night, everyone, and be kind to each other out there.